Hi everybody, I am back with another video, and this video, I was watching, the Asper, his YouTube channel, and this came up, the YTP, never heard that word, so it caught my attention, because I like learning new stuff. Well, this is some situation that's going on in the Netherlands, and the YTP is Black Pete is Dutch racism in full display. So what is Black Pete? Black Pete is basically American version of Santa Claus. So according to the article, it says protesters have rallied against the Dutch blackface tradition, but many still refuse to see how it is deeply offensive. And I guess they are talking about black people, black Netherlands. So we see here, I guess this is white people. Now, I don't know. But they got on black paint on their face, and they're saying it take them a while to get the black paint off. They got this hair and all this. I think they're rather cute. People probably get mad about that, but let's just say, think about it. When you see white people over here do blackface, they look utterly crazy. They look like they went in the fireplace, got the soot out of the chimney chute and put it on their face. These people, they put it on very well. They don't look crazy. So, but then that's a tradition over there. Now, it says this year, Santa Claus arrival on November 17 was greeted by protests against Black Pete in 18 cities across the Netherlands, according to Eva Clever Reuters. The article goes on to say, according to the editor's note, this story was published on November 27th. The Dutch Sinterklaas feast is celebrated annually with the giving of gifts on December 5th in the Netherlands. So it's their version of Santa Claus. Center, just based on common knowledge of the word sin, you'll see as you read this article that word sin is an issue. Now, in Amsterdam, the late November arrival of Santa Claus in the Netherlands heralds 3 weeks of holiday festival. 3 weeks of partying in the street with blackface. And for the 8th year run, this has been going on for 8th year. This has been going on for 8 years. That's not right on. Where did he even get the idea from? I'm thinking this is something that's been going on since Catholicism days or something. But anyway, it is also accompanied by protests against Zwarte Piet or Black Pete, Santa Claus helpers who many see as a racist stereotype. Okay, while Santa Claus portrayed an elderly white man arrived by ship and rides a white horse through parades across the Netherlands. Hundreds of adults and children dress up as his helper. So Zwarte Piet, wearing blackface, painted large red lips and black curly wigs, and some with large golden earrings. Now, this year, Santa Claus' arrival on November 17 was greeted by a protest against Black Pete in 18 cities across the Netherlands. Around 40 people were arrested, primary counter-protesters supporting Zwarte Piet, who attacked anti-racist demonstrators with eggs and bananas, and in some places, Hitler salutes. Now, okay, I'm going to read on. In Eindhoven and Rotterdam, the counter-protests in support of Black Pete were particularly intense, with reports that extremely right-wing supporters have dressed up as Zwarte Piet and handed out candy and right-wing political party stickers to children. Don't take your children to it. Don't go. I don't. So my thing is, they have a Thanksgiving raid every year, a Christmas raid, different raids in my town. I don't have nothing against raids, but that's an example. If I don't support the parade, I don't go to the parade and I don't take my children. Therefore, my kids' consciousness doesn't have parade going to parade in it. And different things that may have racist tones or whatever, because we didn't grow up understanding racism, because I didn't know what racism was, until Obama became president and they started telling us stuff is racist. This thing right here, these people doing these things, those that doing it don't see it as racist. But because somebody says it's racist, so black people are going to get all in a tizzy over something that's been going on for 8 years. Me, all the show, we got enough to worry about in America without worrying about blackface over in the Netherlands. You got people black. When I was growing up, I did not know what a blackface was. Really. Here on this earth, 59 years, I didn't know what a blackface was until people started whining about blackface. Oh, boycott. Whoever these people are, Goofy, whoever these people are, I say boycott. Boycott them, boycott. Oh, they got some racist shoes. They got some racist pocketbooks, handbags. They got a racist t-shirt. They got a racist this. Oh, blackface, they blackface that. I don't know about no blackface until these people come out and wear it. And we look at it and say, well, why in the world you got black paint on your face? What that mean? Oh, let me go and research what that means. Oh, 60 years ago, this man had blackface and that. Oh, that's racist. Racist is a figment of people's imagination. It's only offensive if someone tells you it's offensive. Me, you can walk around with blackface all day long. I'm just going to look at you like you a weirdo and keep on rolling. My kid, Mom, look, he got that black paint on his face. I said, yeah, that's just some, why I said, that boy probably just doing something this and that. My kids and grandkids don't even know to be offended by no blackface. Anyway, I shall read on. We were threatened by these people very aggressively. They even did the Hitler sign. And in some places, white power sign. It was like a weekend of Dutch racism before this place. It's like this. If these people doing this and you going out there protesting it, then you going to get people protesting you. You protesting what they want to. These people out here having fun. If you don't like it, don't participate. People say, well, you don't do that, you don't do that. That's because, what do you think about that? That's because you can do whatever you want. My only thing is, when you walk up to me with a black face and say something dumb, I'm like, okay, that's your face. I don't care what that's supposed to mean. Oh, you know that person, this and that. Oh, that's racism. It is. I didn't know that. Okay. Anyway, I shall read on. Jerry Afriye, along with Quincy Gario, was one of two founders of Zawate P. It's Race Me campaign in 2011. Okay. He said there were bananas thrown at us. Why did you found it? You decide that you gonna go dig up research uh uh whatever Santa Claus is, and you gonna call it Black Santa Claus, Black Pete, which is a Black Santa Claus, and come out there and do this and that. Well, in America you got the white Santa Claus. When in the Netherlands you got the Black Santa Claus. They will probably think black people would appreciate a Black Santa Claus, because over here, when people celebrate Santa Claus, they are when they in their prospective communities, they're gonna have a Santa Claus that look like them. So that could be some of that out on there. And I don't really care. But anyway, he said there were bananas thrown at us. There were eggs thrown at us. We were called all type of racist slurs. So when did all of this protesting these people started? Anyway, we were threatened by these people very aggressively. They even did the Hitler sign, and in some places, white power sign. It was like weekend of Dutch racism before this place, and people saw it. I don't really get that. I don't really get that. Who they throw the eggs at? Who mad? Is it the black people throwing the eggs at you? Or is it the white people throwing the eggs at you because they don't want to? I don't know. Anyway, a lot of people were shocked. But you know who was not shocked? Black people are not shocked. We have been saying it. Huh? Okay. So it's the white people that's throwing eggs, throwing bananas at who? Anyway. Afri arrived in the Netherlands from Ghana when he was 10. Okay. They will call me Sawate Pete, or you are dirty just like Sawate Pete. Huh? You are only good to be Sawate Pete. So I guess that's why this lady on this her train was carrying on with this woman calling her daughter her 6-year-old Sawate Pete. I'm just now hearing this word like minutes ago, trying to do this video. I don't even know what a Sawate Pete is. What is the issue? But you can go to African Diaspora, and you can look at that and he'll explain it, what it means. Which I understand what he says, but because it's something I never heard of, and because the twist is different. It's like the American Santa Claus with a twist. That's what makes it so confusing. Anyway, he says, until then, he thought the Santa Claus festival was just about fun and collecting sweets. Okay, I was a child and not politically aware, but I realized we played this dress up with this character who is dumb, who is silly, who doesn't know much, who needs someone to lead the way, who keeps messing up, who is looking very ugly, and then realizing that I am the butt of the joke. I was 12 years old when I realized it. It took 2 years. Okay. So that's why the lady's upset about this woman on this train or whatever calling her 6-year-old, she looks like Sawate Pete. If I was going to call my child Sawate Pete, I didn't look at it, I wouldn't even know it. I said, okay, what's a Sawate Pete? If you say the Black Santa Claus or something like that, I'm like, okay. My child is not a Santa Claus. Anyway, it just wouldn't make no sense to me. And I wouldn't even try to take offense to it. I just like, she's not a Black Santa Claus, she's not a Sawate Pete, or whatever that is. Don't call her that, her name is da 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 da. I'm not gonna go in no rant on no plane, on no subway, ranting while people sitting there just listening to you rant and rave like a crazy person because this woman called your child, and you trying to explain to the woman how offensive it is. The people don't care. You can look at the woman on the train. They don't care. He just looked crazy. He tried to engage both students and teachers in a dialogue. But as he puts it, the country just looked away. Exactly. So who in the world? Nobody want to hear. Nobody want to be taught racism. Nobody wants to hear this. If you want to go build a Wate Peak and go out there and have fun for 3 weeks, have fun. Just don't include me in it. And I guess this is another one. Every year, adults and children dress up as the Wate Peak. Okay, this that's the real. This picture comes from that whatever that little black media channel. Anyway, many people in the Netherlands support many people, or they black, white, what? Many people in the Netherlands support black people, and a majority of the country seems resistant to change in addition. So who is supporting black people? The way this young black lady was carrying on that pain about they calling saying her daughter looked like Uncle Wate Pete. Who is supporting it? White people. Black people just ignoring you. So now they're trying to get black people stirred up against each other, white people having fun. Look at me. I don't care. Having fun. Don't come ask me nothing about it, because I don't care. That's your fun. Don't try to include me in it. Don't give my child nothing. That's just how I look at it. Anyway, in a controversial statement in 2014 that has gone viral, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte said, Black Pete is black, and I cannot change that because his name is Black Pete. And who cares? Who asked you to change it? My thing is, why do black people care? If people want to walk around here with black tar on their face and I don't know, with a red clay dirt on their mouth and a beautiful curly shiny wig on their head, do I care? I really don't care. So who got a problem with Black Pete? I'm Black Pixie. People act like black is a horrible word. It's a horrible word when you use it to control, demonize, harm, damage, make people's life a living hell. I mean, you use it for those behaviors, or you use it or a particular activities that you use to harm, disenfranchise, all these other things that a lot of black people go through. He say it's not green or brown Pete. It is Black Pete. So, okay, it's Black Pete. I don't care. I can only say that my friends in the Dutch Antilles, they are very happy when they have Santa Claus because they don't have to paint their faces. Huh? My friends don't have to paint their faces. They don't have to paint their faces. And when I am playing Black Pete, I am for days trying to get the stuff off my face. Why put it on there? Don't put it on there. Let one of these blacks, these people with an actual black face, be Santa Pete. Why, you gotta be Santa Pete. You're right. Anyway, you be who you want to be. Me don't care. Black people don't care. The exact origin of Black Pete are merged in myth and controversy. Same Santa Claus. Dutch people have a slightly different origin story depending on when and where they grew up. In the big cities of industrial west or in rural parts of the rest of the country. Now this is him, so he have a hard time getting the paint off his face. Well, he love it. Black Pete is Saint Nicholas' assistant. So Black Pete is Saint Nicholas' assistant. So if he's Santa Claus and St. Nicholas is Santa Claus, how is Black Pete, who is the Black Santa Claus, an assistant? Yeah, okay, now I see the issue. Black Santa Claus is the assistant of the white Santa Claus. Do I care? No. I don't celebrate Santa Claus. I went Black Friday. I had a nice Thanksgiving Day at my son's girlfriend mother house. She invited us over and said she wanted us to come over. I agreed to come over. Said we would come over Thanksgiving. I mean, it was a lovely dinner. It was just us. We had a lovely Thanksgiving dinner. I went Friday. I went Black Friday at Belk's. Did my little shopping. I had fun. Spent over $100. I only tend to spend 50. But because my husband gave me $100, I ended up spending over $100. Then we went to Red Lobster. After we came from Black Friday, I went to Red Lobster. I ordered me an extra lobster pizza for free because I get those Red Lobster rewards. And we had a nice dinner. I ordered the salmon New Orleans plate, the full plate, and then I ate the other half today. It was tasty. Then today, I went to today we went to the Golden Corral. We ate dinner there. Then after there, I went to Walmart and then another Black Friday shopping because it is today. And got me an iPhone 6S for $100, $99. So I got me a new iPhone. Anyway, oh, what's up with this? Oh, they're trying to do my new phone right now, but I'm gonna wait on that. The phone, the iPhone I'm telling you about, they're trying to get me to whatever the phone. Anyway, that's my new iPhone I got. I wish it would have been a 64S. I wish it would have been a 64 gigabyte, like my SE, which is 64. But it's 32. But anyway, I'll be okay. My probably just use one as storage, and the other one, whatever. But anyway, back to So What Pete. The basic story of Saint, it's not Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus in the Netherlands, is that he comes from Spain, arriving by a steamship with a black helper, who, I guess the black helper is Black Pete, Santa Claus's assistant, who, when his sack of toys was empty, would fill his bag with children who had been bad and returned to Spain. Now, that's the part that made me look this up. Google this and look this up. So in America, Saint Nick, Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus has a bag of toys going to everybody's house, going down chimneys and giving gifts. Giving out gifts in different malls all over the place in America. When all the toys are gone, Saint Nick goes back to where his little Santa Claus house is and get more toys. Or he just don't have no more toys. He go back home after he delivered every little kid got a toy. But no, this Santa Claus comes from Spain on a steamship with a black helper. I guess with Black Pete. Because Black Pete is the assistant of, we read earlier, who, when his sack of toys was empty, will fill his bag with children. So you take all the little Black Pete children you giving gifts to, who had been bad and returned to Spain. So all the bad kids, you take them and go back to Spain with all the bad kids. So, if that's not diabolical, I don't know what it is. Anyway, most would agree that it was a school teacher from Amsterdam, Jan Schenkman, who first introduced the character of Zwarte Piet in an illustrated book. Everything comes in a book, and then you got to put it into movies. Then people got to go out there and create a parade or create a whole tradition. Anyway, Saint Nicholas in Zengen Niche in 1850. Don't you understand what a word I say? But anyway, I guess it's this. It was a time when the Netherlands, 1850, a time when the Netherlands was still deeply engaged in the slave trade. So, Saint Nicholas would come from Spain to the Netherlands and give all the good, I guess, black kids gifts, and those who they deemed as bad, they would put them in their empty bag of toys and take them back to Spain as slaves. The Netherlands didn't abolish slavery in its territories until 1863. So that was a 13 years of giving out gifts and taking children back to be slaves. Okay. Now, historian Lee Oing had written about the link between Zwarte Piet and the blackface minstrel show created in America in the 1800s. So it was in America first. We know all of it comes from Spain and Europe and all of that, Germany, all of that. You know where it comes from, Great Britain. Everything comes from there over here. So the historian was written about the link comes back to America in the 1800s that were known throughout Europe. Just what I said, Europe. That's okay over here. They kidnapped all the black people from around the country and bring them to America. They made them a part of slavery. Anyway, protest against the tradition says the character is a racist portrayal of black people. I don't know. I don't care. Paint your face. Others connect Zwarte Piet to traditional narratives from the Middle Ages, in which Saint Nicholas was paired with a dark helper who represented a tame devil or evil character. A tame devil? What's a tame devil? From my study of religion, studying the Bible under this structured religion, a devil is a liar and a slanderer. So it's a tame liar and a slanderer or evil character. Anyway, whatever the exact origin, it is clear that the character Zwarte Piet is a tradition and history that many Dutch have yet to come to terms with. These are the children. These are the descendants, like Ada, American descendant of slavery. These people over here that's doing this thing and thinking and want to make it a tradition and have fun are descendants of these people that created all of this back in the Middle Ages. That's what it's obvious. They are the descendants of these people. It's in the DNA to want to do that. But it's also in the DNA of the black Netherlands to not want to be offended by it. My thing is, I don't get offended by anything. You can be who you want to do. Just don't tell me I gotta do it. Just look come here and handle my kids. No, no, nah, if I go, nah, then that's all I need to say. Anyway, will Lekkerboom, a human rights lawyer in Amsterdam who represents many in the anti-black Pete movement. Anti-black Pete movement. American descendants of slavery movement, political movement in America. So now they have an anti-black Pete movement. What is an anti-black Pete movement going to do? Is it going to stop these young people from having a Black Pete Festival? I think not. It's going to be what it is. Protesters against, protesters for, meeting up, and the one that's for it attacking those that are against, whatever. Okay, that's all that's going to do. It's not going to change anything. It's like people in America. You want to wear blackface, you want to do whatever, you got every right to do whatever you want to do. And black Americans got every right to boycott. It is what it is. Now, who was black? Okay. Represents many in the Black Pete movement. Says he grew up with a chimney Pete. Myth. Who was black because he came through the chimney and was a harmless helper. Lord have mercy. It was embarrassingly late when I realized that if he came through the chimney, you don't have thick red lips or black curly hair. This is probably a stereotype of black men. You see the word probably? Trying to make people feel offended and see a racist in something. This is probably a stereotype of a black man. Probably a stereotype of a black man. And this had to be pointed out to me by protesters. Protesters are teaching people to see activities that people are doing as racist. Like you say, he didn't realize that. He didn't realize none of that. He was a black man because he came through the chimney and was a harmless helper. But he had to learn from protesters that this is racist, and this probably is a stereotype of a black man, which he never put that idea in your head. Oh, this is probably a stereotype of a black man, and I think you need to be offended. I'm at the point where I don't let people tell me how to feel offended and oppressed and upset about something that never crossed my mind before you told me. Anyway, even if I've seen it, I just think it's something weird that you like to do. Anyway, to accept that a part of your childhood memory is, in hindsight, a racist thing, it's very difficult for a lot of people. It won't be difficult for a lot of people if they're just like, okay, that's your viewpoint. I don't need to feel offended because you told me this stuff that I seen when I was a child. I ain't really thought about or really cared nothing about or really concerned myself with. It's just something I see as childhood. I'm supposed to, as an adult, be upset about it and go out and protest and start fights. Okay. A typical refrain from those who don't want change is that the festival is for the children. Hey, always for the children. It is not for the children. The children don't care nothing about no festival. Adults are the ones that care about festivals. They train their children that this is what you need to do to have fun. My kids got like 1 year of Santa Claus. I didn't feel right about it. After that, it ain't no Santa Claus. Mama went to buy some gifts and put it under the tree. Because it's just, to me, it's just crazy. Anyway. But Africa sees it differently. He lives in a black community, Amsterdam, Southeast, and was raised there. Okay. I was there to do my part to put some pride into the young black girls and boys. Be proud of who you are, okay? Because we have seen many examples of children coming home and jumping in the shower, trying to wash their skin off because the children at school are teasing them that they're ugly, that they are dirty. So you teach children in schools that they're dirty and ugly, then you go out and paint black stuff on your face and say it's for the children. Sounds diabolical to me. One girl recently was asking, why can other kids get clean but I can't? Why is my dirtiness permanent? And she was referring to her skin, obviously. That's because she wasn't raised right. Why didn't her parents teach her? Now, when I was coming up, white people told their children that me and my siblings' skin was dark because we were dirty and didn't wash. And we couldn't wash it off. The little girl said that because we couldn't understand why she born and was one way until a certain age, she acting a certain way. So she told us she wasn't born that way. Even when the family suffered, and that family suffered because of that. Because not all children come into the world to be racist children. But anyway, when she said that, that's when I understood where that comes from. So, you know what I teach my kids? To love your black skin. When she said that, I love my black skin. What she said, her dad told her, did not change how I feel about my skin. Because I had enough consciousness in my brain. And I was a teenager then. I had consciousness, it's 7 of us. And I was the oldest of 7. I had enough consciousness and awareness in my brain to know that was a bunch of BS. I wash my skin. Oh, that fresh washed skin smells good. My skin still smells like my peach tree. I got peach tree shower gel. So none of my sisters were there. We just thought the child daddy was crazy. We just looked at her. And the 7 of us do not go around seeing this crazy stuff and feeling some kind of way about our stuff. It's up to the parent to raise their child, to teach their child that, yeah, they teach that stuff in the schools. Well, don't you teach your child when your child come home? Look at mama. She said my skin dirty and why I can't wash it off. I wish my child might come home and tell me some food like that. Because by the time I get finished with the parent of the child that told my child that, they ain't gonna never like me no more. And I'm not a violent person. I just say what I gotta say, and you don't like me no more. Anyway, one girl recently asked, okay, I just read it. People are free to do Shabbat. What is that? Ramadan, okay. Pray 3 times a day. But a Dutch person is not free to celebrate Black Pete. It's an outrage. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Everybody, you do what you want. Just stop putting it in. The people that don't support it, just stay home. Don't go. Why you going out there? Trying to put a wet blanket on these people parade. Let them parade. If you take offense, you don't show up. You don't patronize. You don't patronize, however you put it, the businesses of the people that's actually putting this function on, boycotting it. They can have their fun all by themselves. I don't really care. But you're going out there trying to force people to be something else. I got, how much in there? 9%. Okay, I got to plug up my MacBook. It's about to die. I didn't realize it was I didn't realize it had plugged out. Got 9%. While I'm doing my video, then it cuts off and annoys the devil out of me. Okay, this is back up. I'll do this later. Set that phone up later. Anyway, the Black Pete narrative have already changed in Amsterdam in recent years. Now it is common to see white people with dark smudges of makeup in place of the previous Pete and blackface. And who cares? But not far outside of Amsterdam. It is not difficult to find people celebrating as Zwarte Piet wearing blackface. Just 20 minutes north of Amsterdam lies a small, idyllic tourist center of Zandam with windmills and chocolate factories. This year, Zandam hosted the main Santa Claus arrival parade on November 17th, televised live by the Dutch broadcaster NTR. And so, change the channel. Today, anti-racist protesters, I don't believe you ain't going out protesting nothing. I will boycott you. Because that's more peaceful. Sit in my house and not support you. Going out there fighting you against your belief when I want to believe what I want to believe and you want to believe what you want to believe, but I'm going to come out there and tell you what you believe is wrong and you need to stop it and do what I believe. I'm good. So today, anti-racist protesters peacefully calling for the abolition of black people. The black-faced servant of Dutch Santa Claus were spat on by bystanders, attacked by violent mobs, and beaten by the police, supposedly in charge of their protection. See, that's exactly why I don't go protesting nothing, because I'm not going to get beat up, brutalized, thrown in a panty wagon, and put in a holding cell for an hour or two for standing out there protesting what somebody else want to do that is not illegal. Let me say, by the police officers who are there to protect them. Come on now. Who paid these police to be out there? Did you protesters pay these people to be out? Pay these police to be out there? Did you protesting these people blackface? Did you protest? Did you pay the police to be out there? No. The people who supports it, who are carrying on doing it, is the one that paid the police to be there. And these police are there to protect you. Yeah, really. And they are there to protect the people who are actually carrying on the tradition. And this is what Tom Vanderpute at T. Vanderpute, November 17, 2018. That's what he says. Okay. Even though the broadcaster said in October there would be no Zwarte Piet characters in blackface, Zwarte Piets were there by the busload, 150 in total, escorted by dozens of police officers. No protester were allowed near the event. See what I mean? The police is there to protect the protesters. Who really believes that? Why would I go out there and protest people who are protected by the police? If you sit home, it's called out of mind, out of sight. If I'm not there, I can't be offended. Anyway, what people do with it? Okay. In a traditional Dutch bar, Jonathan, a hospitality entrepreneur, sits watching a football match. He's reluctant to comment at first, but eventually says that he believes the Black Pete debate is ridiculous. It is. I'm not going to argue with you about a Black Pete. I'm not going to argue with you about Santa Claus. Like, if you're Megan, whatever her name is, talking about Santa Claus is white, just get over it. Did I care? No. So then she did the blackface thing and got fired. And then got fired off NBC after she replaced Tamron Hall and thought Tamron Hall viewers was going to be there to view her. Not. I don't know where people get ideas from. The thing is, why protest? Just out of mind, out of sight. Switch the channel. That's what I do. I don't like to. Oh God. I click on another channel. Or I do something else. And if you keep popping up trying to make me see it, I unsubscribe and I clear out my history so it won't keep popping up. Because what in your history is going to keep coming up? Anyway. Now. I agree, it's ridiculous. If there is one country where people don't discriminate, it's the Netherlands. Huh? People discriminate everywhere. Why do all Dutch traditions have to be ruined? It started 8 years ago. You created it for a reason. People are free to do Shabbat, Ramadan, pray 3 times a day, but a Dutch person is not free to celebrate black people. A Dutch person? Who cares? Black Pete is made up. If you want to celebrate Black Pete, go around giving out, go around and play a little Santa Claus thing. Those who don't like it, just carry on with life. If I see you, I see you. Anyway, it's an outrage. In all honesty, I think it's a political game. It's a political game y'all playing. Trying putting this out there so you can have people to be offended and therefore come out and protest, so you can send in people to protest against them. Therefore, the police come out to stop the ruckus. But you know the only person that's being protected is the black people who support it. They're the only ones being protected. Think about it. If the police bring in, if bus loads of people, Black Pete comes in to celebrate by the busload, and dozens of police come in to protect them, all the protesters that come out to protest against you, protesting against them, are also protected by the same police. Okay. Black Pete is not about Black Pete. Huh? Says Lamb Breach Wessel, or conflict analysis. Black Pete is not about Black Pete. Okay. Let's see what he means. He sees the growing battle over Santa Claus helper as a proxy for much larger issues in the country. Ain't it in all countries, especially in the United States? Mainly rapidly changing demographics, economic insecurities, and a lack of proper migration policies, all of which have fueled a recent rise of nationalist politics in the Netherlands. I ain't feeling that. People's fears are expressed through Black Pete. Okay? When these other issues are addressed, then people will be more ready to change Black Pete to suited Black Pete or Chimney Pete. What is changing the name got to do with the origin around and what it means? A white Santa Claus with a white man in blackface as a helper, bringing gifts to the children, and all the bad children are put in an empty gift bag and sent back to Spain. apparently for slaves. They put in to be slaves or whatever. Okay. Did that make any sense? The name Black Pete has not changing Black Pete to Sooty Pete or Chimney Pete. Got nothing to do. This has nothing to do with the name. This is like somebody saying, this person is crying, begging. Oh my God, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, Mama. I'm hungry. And after a while, Mama said, baby, your hunger has nothing to do with being hungry. So, why don't we just call this thirsty? Because your hunger pains have nothing to do with hunger pains. So we're going to change your hunger pains to thirst, to I was going to say quencher, but we're going to call it thirsty. We're going to call it I'll say thirst pains. So instead of calling it hungry pains, because your hungry pains has nothing to do with hungry pains. So we're going to call it thirst pains, or we're going to call it whatever. You know how that sounds? The people are not fighting about the word itself. I'm Black Pixie. Some people kind of taken back with the word black. What's so offensive about black? There's nothing offensive about black. Black is a color. And if people got a problem with the word Black Pixie, okay, we can call it brown pixie. Brown pixie. Brown pixie. Okay, is that okay? Anyway. While some feel that those changes are still not enough, because it's not. Got nothing to do with it. Afri is optimistic about the progress being made. There's no progress. You are changing Black Pete to Sooty Pete. Sooty Pete. Chimney Pete. Chimney Pete. So what that's supposed to mean, if we call it sooty and chimney, therefore you cannot see it as having something to do with literal black people, skin tone. You know, do it. Anyway, he spends much of his time talking to schools about race and Zawate Pete. So he go around, so now it's a job. You create a job to go around the schools talking about race and Zawate Pete. So you're going around the schools teaching these poor little kids that Zawate Pete is a racist and why you shouldn't have a problem with it. That's teaching people to feel racist about something that they don't know about and never cared about. Anyway, a lot of schools have changed Zawate Pete. Urieth has changed this year. Rotterdam says they will do like Amsterdam next year. When we started, there was this big Goliath. Now we see the big group is getting smaller and the small group is getting larger, okay? As the debate continues, one thing is clear. When Santa Claus and Zawate Pete leave the Netherlands on December 6th, the controversy of Black Pete will remain awaiting their arrival next year. The controversy will remain. Why? There can't be a controversy if you simply don't care. Let these people walk around with their face. Somebody else walking around with black paint on their face that they can't wash off for days. Don't got nothing to do with me. I do not see soot on your face, or when you have soot on your face that can't wash off, or black paint, whatever it is. When I see that, That don't make me feel no kind of way. Because I don't have to wash mine off. I get to keep my dark skin. Can you want to be dark skinned? But you gotta wash it off. Because if you keep it on there too long, it's gonna get in your skin and make you sick or something, cause skin damage or whatever it's gonna do to you. You gotta wash it off eventually. I don't gotta wash mine off. They wanna be in blackface, but they gotta wash it off and put it back on. Me, I don't gotta wash mine off. I get to keep mine. I thought it came to my head. I don't know how nice it is, but I was sitting here thinking, you know how you paint a wall and I guess it could be dry or wet. When you put your hand on that wall and all that white paint or whatever chalk is on your hand. And what do? Try to wash it off? But it don't wash off right away. You know, it on there and after several washes it come off. That's how black Pete is to me. Eventually, it'll come off. Eventually, theirs will come off. But their white skin ain't going nowhere. I don't care how much you wash it. And my black skin ain't going nowhere. I don't care how much I wash it. So everybody should just love their skin. And I like the term Pharaoh said his grandson said. Granddaddy or whatever. They're brown. What do you say? They're brown and light skinned. So brown pixie might be a better word. I don't know. What do you think? Because I've always gone around and said I was brown anyway. But that's something I may be thinking about. Brown pixie, brown sugar, brown candy. Brown is cute. It doesn't matter. To me, black is cute. But since people got so much a problem with the word black, I mean, people take offense to black. Because somebody put some black paint on their face, you take offense to the person because they want to look like you. I ain't mad at nobody wanting to look like me because I never got to wash mine off. Anyway, that's it for this Black Pixie Dust, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!